Howdy folks, Kerbo here. I've been flying FSEconomy for quite a while, but hadn't really made much money. Recently I spent quite a few days flying in a King Air, doing a lot of just local flights back and forth. Grinding out the money, finally got about 250 grand. Bought myself a Cessna 206 on FSEconomy. I'd like to fly this with PilotEdge, but the airplane's located in Missouri. So I've got quite a long flight ahead of me to get it out to the SoCal area. Thought I'd make a YouTube series of getting that plane out there. It's quite a trip. Should be pretty interesting. Of course, most of it will be condensed down because you don't want to sit here for hours watching me drone through the sky. So we're here at Clinton Regional Airport. That is Kilo Golf Lima Yankee. Just east of Clinton, Missouri. I'm from Missouri. I've never been to Clinton, Missouri, but it's over, I believe just southwest of Kansas City. I'll throw a map up here while I'm talking. Yeah, it's kind of over southwest of, or southeast rather, Kansas City. Been by that area, but I've never been to Clinton. So anyway, I'm going to get started up here. Today's first hop should be about a 2-hour flight. I've got a FSEconomy run. I'll make a little money, and it's going pretty much the direction I want to go. We're going to head on over to Kilo Hotel Uniform Tango, which is Hutchinson Municipal. It's just barely off the track I had planned out for the cross-country flight. So let's get started. That's not automatic. There we go. Now we got some track IR. Alright, let's get started on this epic journey. Try to hold about 80 knots. Oh, I stupidly didn't check the weather. Winter 3009. Alright, so I'll head over to GPS. And I'm going. Alright, so we can get our strobe off. Let's get our cowl flaps. Oops. Flaps closed. Oh, something's not right with that one. There we go. Oh, how'd they get back over to V-lock? That's new. Okay, well, let's switch back to heading. Never had it switch like that before. Oh, right. I forgot about that. I bought this airplane that didn't have GPS in it. So FSEconomy is disabling it. Oops. Yeah, it does not have GPS. I forgot to buy a GPS for it. Oh, the joys of aircraft ownership. Well, apply this manually. I'll have to look into how to buy a GPS. Totally forgot about that. I was looking at two different aircraft, and this one was a little cheaper and had better, lower hours, better maintenance record. It didn't have GPS. I forgot about that. I need to buy a GPS for it. I'll have to figure out how to do that. We can actually follow this, so we'll go to 211 like it wants us to. No, that's good enough. We'll intercept the rack. Alright, so what I should do, this is the name here. Block this. And do that. We'll track over. This is Butler. Bravo Uniform Mike. Yep, it's confirmed on the Morse. So we'll head over to Butler. We should be able to pick up the EMP. What's that short for? Emporia. That's 112.8, so once we pick up that guy, alright, nice clear day. We can lean our engine out just a little more. See if we can get some weather here. We got that's coming in a bit. some up north of us here in Latha. 135, 325.
New Century Air Center Information Yankee. 2000 Zulu weather. Sky clear. Visibility more than 10. Temperature 17. Dew point -5. Wind 270 at 24.
Yeah, that's what I
altimeter
thought.
3010.
Got a
Arriving
nice
and
little
departing
wind we're
runway
heading
to
into.
advise on initial contact. You have Yankee.
I'll leave that, and when it gets in range, some weather up in Emporia. That is Bravo Uniform Mike. VOR is just past it. So we're going to need to switch. Butler right there. We're not picking up the other VOR yet, so we'll just switch to heading mode. Yep. And 12.8. I don't know why we're not picking that up yet. We're fairly close to it. It's Kansas. It's not like there's mountains in the way. Different frequency in X-plane. Could head for Boyd. 5. It's pretty much right where we want to be. Picking it up yet either. Huh. It's gotta just be an X-plane problem. Oh. Why we shouldn't pick that up. So that's the Boyd ADF. Getting that now. Still no VOR. The range is way too short on this. Hopefully that means in a few miles some VOR. Welcome to Kansas. Not much in the way of hills. Alright, we finally picked up the VOR. A little less than 50 miles out, we finally picked it up. So 45 miles over to Emporia, then we've got about another 80 miles on down to Hutchinson. Still a ways to go. Reservoirs are in sight. major landmark we were looking for there, Wolf Creek and John Redwood Reservoir, something like that. So we are headed in the right direction. Journey continues. Alright, we've just about made it over here to the reservoirs. It's just west of Hall's Summit, Kansas, coming up on Emporia, off over here in the distance. We have Wolf Creek Reservoir. We have John Redmond Reservoir right next to it. That's about all we got for scenery here. We do have a couple lakes up here. Go look at the chart real quick. We got two good-sized lakes. Closest lake on the left there is Melvern Lake, and we got Pomona Lake up there in the distance. Okay, we're coming up on Emporia VOR. Make a slight turn here. Switch to heading. Yes, okay, so the GPS is flipped over. We'll do a little adjusting for the winds. Just head on down there. Get a little closer, we'll pick up the next VOR. We're not picking up the next VOR yet, but there is an NDB. It's a little closer, so I'm going to tune that in. See if we can pick that up. It is Newton, which is Echo Whiskey Kilo 281. Figure out how to tune this NDB here. There we go. 281. I think we are picking up something. Yeah, it's the right Morse code. It is a little south of our track, so that's about right. Just another cross-reference. Alright, we're less than 30 miles now. I'm going to start a descent. We are picking up the VOR now. Go ahead and head for that. Actually, yeah, we're right on track. I'll leave it. Back on the power, we'll watch our airspeed. Be fast. Still need some weather. I'm not sure. Let's check. 12425 should be Hutchinson.
Hutchinson Muni Information Zulu. 2100 Zulu weather. Sky clear. Visibility more than 10. Temperature 18. Dew point -3. Wind to 60 at 13. Altimeter 301 to. Arriving and departing runway 31. Advise on initial contact. You have Zulu.
31, alright. I will throw up a picture of the airport. 31's a 7,000 foot runway, so that should be plenty. Airport elevation is 1,500 feet. So we're headed down to pattern altitude. It's a towered airport, but we don't have any PilotEdge out here, so nobody to talk to. I'm going to adjust this to 3,000. Safe. Whoa. Yeah, close enough. Alright, we're still doing good on the heading. So we're heading to Hutchinson VOR. Hutchinson VOR, which is actually past the airport, 4 or 5 miles. So when we get about 15 miles out here, pretty quick we should be able to get a view of the airport. It's going to be off our right just a bit. Right there. That would be Hutchinson. I'll just set up for a right base on 3-1. Should work out pretty good. One should be the very, very long runway. Pull up my before landing checklist here. For landing, passenger seats, pilot and passenger seat backs, fuel selector valve. Back out here. That's still both. Mixture is full rich. Propeller, high RPM. Get our landing and taxi lights on. And we'll turn our autopilot off here in just a bit. Alright, I got my feet on the pedals. Let's get my track IR set up. Kill the autopilot. Still need to slow right down to that white arc so we can get some flaps down. There we go. I need to undo all that nose up trim I just did. heading anymore. I'm going to put that on the runway heading. This is a nice little visual reference. Check again.
Hutchinson Muni Information Zulu. 2100 Zulu weather.
So that's not too bad.
Sky clear. Visibility more than 10.
There's dropped.
Temperature to 1. Dew point 0.
Another notch of flaps just to help us slow down. You get a lot more of an angle here with this crosswind. Pushed me over a lot more than I thought. Nothing speedy about this approach. It was a 340, so just a little bit of crosswind, but it's pretty brisk.
Hutchinson Muni Information Zulu.
And that's it.
2100 Zulu
that's why
weather.
I'm whipping
Sky
all over
clear.
the place.
Visibility more than 10. Temperature to 3.
Wind direction is pretty crazy. It's changing by 30, 40 degrees. I can't figure out the right angle to get here. A little high. Still a little high. I always land a little high. Not land. I always approach a little high. I usually land right on the runway. This wind is no joke. A little fast on the approach. Flaps up. Not to run off the runway. Aileron into the wind. So you gotta have it turned off. And the wind shifted. Now we're all over the runway again. Explaining wind on the ground. Good times. Good times. All right, let's say taxiway. Right. Here we go. We'll get off on Bravo. Maybe, if the wind will cooperate. There we go. Right here, that looks like a good spot. Alright, let's get shut down. Turn those off, turn that off. Pull the engine and master off. Alright, here we are in Hutchinson. We made it. Brought our frozen foods, 194 kilograms of frozen food. Don't know what that's all about. Yeah, we made $1,200 basically. So our income, $1,411. No rental costs because I own the plane. Well, ground crew, wow. $141.10. So made $1,269.90. All right, that's the first leg complete. Barely on our way out to California. But one step at a time. Started out over here, Clinton, Missouri. Pretty close to the border here. Where's the border? I saw it on the map when I was... There it is, Kansas, Missouri. That's the border right there. Started out here in Clinton, Missouri. Flew over to Butler, VOR. Then over to Emporia. And a little south on down here to Hutchinson. And there we are. First leg done. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Not a bad park job. Alright, get all the stuff unloaded. We are done. Leg 1 complete.